Features with Livingston and Tangela too, and our host Vincent Van Dahl, and he brings it to ya. Creature features and all creatures and all features, and the creature gonna get you tonight. You better not turn out your bedroom light. He'll grab your head and give it such a bite. You may even die, just from a fright. You ain't nothing gonna be, baby. You ain't nothing gonna be alright. Cause the creature gonna get you, baby. Don't get you tonight.
Did she really need to bring in that hideous monstrosity?
You chose the film, she chose an equitable doll.
I do look forward to that day in the not-too-distant future when we can present the Barbie movie and Tangela will have something far more benign to clasp during our commencement. Oh, of course. Welcome to Creature Features. I'm your host, Vincent, the gallant young butler over to this side who buttles like a busy bee despite being brazenly bamboozled by the bewitching brat with the ghastly poupée would be the boundless bellyacher, Mr. Livingston. And of course, everyone knows that the girl over to this side is Tangela. And do we have a most diabolical program in store just for you? Tonight we have resolved to abandon our tradition of hosting a guest in lieu of presenting not one, nor two, but 3 diabolical tales for your terrifying enjoyment. A trilogy of terror to be precise. Prepare yourself to be shocked and petrified for the next 90 minutes.
25 minutes.
What?
The first 2 tales are somewhat rather mediocre.
While this might be true, we mustn't discourage the viewers from staying for the grand finale of the final story.
Don't worry about that. They'll fall asleep during the first 2.
Oh, shoosh. Starring Karen Black and a cornucopia of other TV stars of the 70s, this 1974 epic scared many a young lad and lass back in the day, with the ludicrous doll of all things, much like the one in Tangela's hands. Created and directed by the talented Dan Curtis, this film will surely compel you to shudder in fear and recoil in pure shock as you attempt to gather your wits between each grisly tale.
Hardly.
So don't go away, for this to be another night of Zuni fetish doll fright, right here on Creature Features. Stay tuned. Livingston, do you know that if our lovely viewers switched over to channel 7, 11, or 13, they could watch Starsky and Hutch?
I was unaware of that.
No. Starsky and Hutch discover that the leader of a criminal ring takes unsuspecting victims and brainwashes them into committing murder. That sounds like something she would do. Not the Starsky and Hutch part, the
brainwashing.
Criminal. Right. Anyways, enough of that. Welcome back to the show. If you're just joining us, we informed you that we are going to show Trilogy of Terror. 3 stories for the price of 1 on Creature Features tonight. And the first 2 are interesting, and the last one is grisly, is it not?
That's a matter of opinion.
No, it's got this little bloke he's terrible. I mean, he's well behaved around Tangela for obvious reasons, but no, he terrorizes this poor woman in a very nice condo in Beverly Hills.
Do you want to give the story away?
No, well, everybody knows the story. Everyone's seen this film. We showed it 2 years ago. It's a fun movie. We think you'll like it, but we'll get to that in a moment. Mr. Livingston, what have you been up to as of late?
We've had a couple of new employees,
Right.
so we've been doing some training.
Well, that's a typical rotation we experience here at the Pull Dimension. Nothing new there.
Well, no thanks to present company.
You know, I thought the same thing, but she told me the ghost scared them off. And it's not this ghost, it's a different one.
Really?
Well, you know, we've got quite a few here.
But mostly quiet ones.
No, there's some loud ones like the little girl on the road. She screams every time I drive by her.
Well, you kind of drive through her.
Well, I drive quickly. I've got places to go and people to see. So that's it for that. What about you, Tangela? What's new? Nothing? You blown up anything recently? Yeah. That's a daily routine. You know, most women her age might like go to a gymnasium or something like that, go to the cinema. She blows things up. Yeah. If she purchased signs that said, I blow things up, she could be hired for like large sums of cash to explode things for people. You know, she probably should name her company Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap.
I think that's been done.
No, it's the name of a song, I think. That's all.
Oh.
I don't think AC/DC would mind if she pinched the name of their song for her destruction company. What do you call that? Demolition?
Demolition.
She could be Demolition Woman. No, there's a song called Demolition Man. She could be Demolition Woman.
There's also a film.
Is there? That's right, there is. All right. Enough silliness. Let's start Trilogy of Terror, and the first tale is called Julie. We'll see you soon.
Hello, this is Mr. Livingston. It would appear that I have been tasked yet again to deliver another plea intended to separate you from your hard-earned money. This program now has its own channel and associated apps that allow you to watch the entire Creature Features library and much more. Entitled Creature Features TV, this is a system that works much like Netflix or Hulu. Besides early access to all the new Creature Features episodes, you'll also have access to many other offerings and some archival episodes of the original show with Mr. Bob Wilkins. You'll also have exclusive access to a new Creature Feature show that will be introduced soon and will not be available anywhere else. Your generous but modest monthly subscription fee will also greatly assist in the continued production of the show, so there's that as well. Miss Tangela has asked me to inform you that if you subscribe to Creature Features TV, she will be sure to create more dancing videos just for you. I think not. So please visit www.creaturefeaturestv.com to learn more. Thank you for your time.
You know, the little bloke likes having his hair stroked.
They have similar hairstyles.
You know, if I comb it long enough, it'll be straight like mine. You know, my hair looks like this when I get out of the shower. No, it's all curly. Or if it rains, it goes all curly-Q like this. You know, maybe I could be this bloke for Halloween. Would that not be apropos?
That would be interesting.
No. And then I could chase Tangela around the house with a little knife. Except she would be the small one, I'd be the tall one in this one. Anyways, enough silliness. Welcome back to the show. We are watching Trilogy of Terror. And, you know, this whole thing with teachers being involved with their students never ends well, does it?
Does not.
No. Oh, they're both, I suppose, consenting adults. But, you know, he looks like he's 35 years old.
He might have been.
No, or the actor, right? Could have been. So... Anyways, fun night, more fun to come. But Tangela, this thing with the doll, you said it runs around on its own. Is it like battery operated, or how does it work?
It's cursed.
It's cursed,
Yes.
meaning it will say very bad four-letter words.
No, it has spirit living within.
Oh, he knows more about it than she does. See? Oh, no, she knows something different. All right, what do you say we get back to this film, old bean?
Please.
All right, off we go. Back to Julie, story 1 of Trilogy of Terror. We shall see you in a moment for letters. Bye. Welcome back to Creature Features. It's that time of the show when we read mail from you. They send us mail because they like us.
Sometimes.
No, he thinks that you send mail to us because you don't like him, and he has to contend with it all. That's not true.
I do not take it personally.
Well, you seem to take it personally. You grumble every time you go down to the post office.
Well, that's the chore of getting the mail.
Yeah, all right. Give me some mail and stop complaining.
Stockholm, Sweden.
Stockholm Syndrome. This is a long one. You didn't warn me that I'd need to put on my spectacles. All right, this is from Brad, a.k.a. the American Werewolf in Stockholm. I should make a movie about you, Brad. Got a good name. Dear Vincent van Dahl, Tangela, and Livingston. Greetings from the heart of Scandinavia. I am writing to you from Stockholm, Sweden. Creature Features has become my weekly bite of home for me, and I want to take a moment to express my sincere appreciation. I think it's going to be a nice letter, don't you?
Sounds like it.
Discovering and revisiting these undervalued cinematic gems through your show is always a treat. He calls them gems. I call them prunes. He calls them something worse. Amidst the Nordic cultural landscape, your show offers a thrilling slice of Americana and nostalgic charm. The dynamic among you three is both familiar and refreshing, keeping the spirit of the American horror host tradition alive and kicking. This man should be a copywriter for us. We should hire him to make us a billboard for Stockholm, for all the people of Sweden to see that Brad watches a cool show. Vincent, your charismatic commentary is always insightful and entertaining. Don't you dare, Tangela, your unique antics and killer dance moves add a layer of suspense and fun that always makes me smile. Livingston, your witticisms and steady demeanor bring a comforting traditional touch. I cannot thank you enough for lighting up my weekends with the thrill of Creature Features. Your show has a way of making this wandering werewolf feel a bit closer to home while still embracing the excitement of the unknown. I eagerly anticipate many more nights of gripping films, intriguing guests, and delightful banter from the Polter Mansion. Keep up the fantastic work. Warmly, Brad, the American Werewolf in Stockholm. Oh, that was a nice letter. You made a face like it was going to be a bad one.
Is that someone you know?
No. Oh, right. We get compliments from people I don't know as well.
Ah.
Thanks for the note, Brad. Next up, Mr. Livingston.
It's one from London.
London, England.
London, UK.
Look at this. The postal code E149PG. Nice. All right, there's a card. Oh, how nice. Looks like maybe a handmade card. I think it is. All right, this is 2 notes. Let's see if I could figure this out. Who's it from first? This is from Kelly. I assume it's a bloke, right? Maybe it's a lass. I don't know. All right, here goes. London calling. Hello, dear Vincent, Mr. Livingston, and of course, Tangela too. If you didn't see, I am writing from London in the UK. That is not California nor Ohio. Yeah, he's right, or she's right, because there's Londons everywhere.
Exactly.
It's like, make up something new. London is British, right? I have only just discovered your fabulous show. I must have had my head under a boulder during the decades that I was living in the States. I am writing to chastise Vincent a wee bit. I was just watching Allison's birthday, and your lovely vampirist guest brought up a topic that I have experience in and can clarify things a bit as to what occurs. She was talking about the people on her Romanian vampire tour. A few of them claim to have been awoken by voices. Almost exactly a year ago to the date, I was awoken by the most beautiful light beings, estimated to be about 7 feet tall, and was emanating the brightest of lights that I have ever seen. I made sure that I was awake, and I sadly was frozen in fear. I could not move, much less have the sense to film it. So, Vincent, these things do happen. Much love, Kelly. And then this is more. Hello, Team Creature Features. What's this? All right, so another tiny note that would not fit on the card. It goes, hello, Team Creature Features. On the very slim chance that my letter gets chosen to be read. Slim chance. I kept it as short as possible and wrote in huge printed letters for Vincent's viewing pleasure. My bad eyes, you mean. I cannot believe that I have only discovered you on YouTube channel, and yes, Livingston, I subscribed. I am having surgery next week and will be binge watching during a long recovery. I will be back over in the States in October, so if there's anything you would like from the UK, just let me know. Sending love from across the pond. Love, Kelly. Well, bring us some fish and chips. No, we could get them here, but they're not the same.
They don't travel well.
No, the water is different there, so the fish tastes different, as do the chips, the potatoes. All right, so back to this thing. People are always having experiences when they're in bed. I was asleep and suddenly I was awoken by a ghost. I was asleep and all of a sudden I was awoken by an alien. I think these people are dreaming. But not Kelly. Kelly actually had something happen. Right?
This appears to be from England as well.
England as well. Is this like International Day for mail? Did she sort it by country? By continent, or by continents?
Continent?
Oh, you don't know how I spell that. You say you don't know what I meant. All right, let's see. I am loving your work. Hope you like mine. This is from Vincent Nolan. And it looks like UK, right? Could be Canada. All right. I'm loving your work. Hope you like mine. And there's a little box. And the box contains, I bet, some kind of surprise, does it not? One would think. Don't you pre-open these things for me?
You told me not to pry.
It would be helpful.
You always like the surprise.
So it looks like a deck of cards.
Tarot cards.
Oh, no, these are different tarot cards. These are, I believe, art made by our friend. These are amazing. Let me pass these over to Tangela. She could show them off. Thank you, and you'll probably see those in her little hands more than you'll see them in mine. Mr. Vincent, that's a good name. All right, is that it, Mr. Livingston?
That's it.
That is it for mail. If you'd like to send us mail of your own, visit hellocreaturefeatures.com. It's a website that shows you how to send us email, how to send us packages, and how to do a wire transfer from your Swiss bank account to ours.
No, it does not.
Well, it could, if you just adjust it correctly. In any case, back to Trilogy of Terror, and we shall see you at the next break.
This portion of Creature Features is brought to you by CreatureFeatureStore.com, the official merchandiser of Creature Feature accessories.
You know, Tangela, if I had the right poison for my hair, like Julie, maybe it might stay up proper. She's good at making poison. Have you seen any rats or mice?
She does not do damage to animals.
Well, she gives them something that made them go away. I've not seen one in a fortnight.
Perhaps.
True story. Anyways, welcome back to the show. We hope you are enjoying Trilogy of Terror. It's a fun film, right?
Indeed.
No, I liked it the first time we saw it. And as I've explained to the viewers before, I never remember movies. It's like I can watch a movie 1 week and then 2 weeks later I'll watch it again and it's like a new film to me.
Goldfish.
No, there's nothing wrong with my brain. I just don't care enough to internalize it.
Oh.
That's what it is. Star Wars is different. I internalize Star Wars.
Why?
I don't know. I saw it 20 times. No, it was a big hit in 1977. Were you around in 1977?
I was a wee lad.
You were not a wee lad. I mean, were you around a cinema that carried Star Wars?
I saw the buildings with the signs on it for the movies, but I never went to see it.
You never once saw Star Wars?
I was never interested.
Listen to him.
He
was too busy going to butler school, learning to buddle your butt.
You always tell that joke and it's still bad.
No, it's wonderful. All right, let's head off to the next segment of Trilogy of Terror. It's called Millicent and Therese. Strange names.
Old-fashioned names.
They are old-fashioned. And this is a different story. It still has Karen Black. So watch out for Karen Black as one of those two. In any case, we shall see you on the other side of the break. Have fun.
Hello, my name is Julia, and I live on Italy Hill, New York, and I just caught the show with Tangela, supposedly speaking, but I knew instantly that it was Faith Tal. But it was fabulous. And I am driving my family crazy because I have you on 24/7 when I'm watching TV. Thank you guys for giving me some monster movies that I have never seen. You guys are all fabulous. Thank you so much.
This is Livingston, and you're watching Creature Features. Not now. Stay tuned.
Creature Features is back. Trilogy of Terror, fun stuff. I like this film. And we've got Andrew with us. Where did Tangela go?
She ran off to make you some poison.
Make me some poison?
Yeah.
I think she's off to make him some poison. Wouldn't you believe that as well?
That would be my guess.
That's right. Anyways, it's good to have you. It's nice to have somebody who speaks to me. He just tends to grumble something off, and she says, of course, nothing when the camera runs, so at least he talks.
You'll be testing my food tonight.
He'll be testing. Yeah, no, I would eat away. I would do takeout. All right. Anyways, this film, Dan Curtis created this film. You've heard this name before, right?
Mr. and Mrs. Curtis's son?
I would imagine so, yes. He created The Night Stalker and The Night Strangler films as well.
Those are some of my favorite.
No, they are quite well, because he had the spin-off of The Night Stalker, right? That was a television program, series.
With Darren McGavin.
With Darren McGavin, right? And but this film, I think, is one of his most memorable ones because of the next story. You're going to love the next. If you have not seen this, you're going to love the next story with this bloke.
If they can stay awake until then.
If you could stay awake, you look like you're going to fall asleep, my friend. But you're just bored with us. He's not even watching the film. Anyways, let's get back to Trilogy of Terror, and we shall see you on the other side of the break. Please don't go away. It'll make me sad.
Hello, this is Mr. Livingston. It would appear I have been tasked with requesting you to help our show financially by visiting our Patreon page. Your generosity will help us keep Creature Features on the air. With only a few dollars a month from you, your kindness will allow us to continue creating new entertainment for your viewing pleasure each and every week. And if you have the desire to give more, you might even receive a gift from Tangela. I think not. Please visit the website below to learn more. Thank you. This is Livingston, and you're watching Creature Features. Not now. Stay tuned. This portion of Creature Features is brought to you by CreatureFeatureStore.com, the official merchandiser of Creature Feature accessories.
Voodoo works for good and evil, right?
No.
I don't know. You know, that last story, I don't know if that was viable. I can somewhat see why they would put the three of these tales together, because the first two could never stand on their own, right?
No, they couldn't.
No. So they had to put the big one at the end to make the people watch the other two. It's like Reader's Digest. What in God's name are you doing?
I'm getting ready for the last one.
With sportwear.
Yeah. He's only that tall, so anything from here down, I'm safe.
Right, but those only seem to protect the front of your shins and not the rear.
Well, I give him a boot.
Right, so, I would be more concerned with your head and Tangela's hammer than I would be about this tiny guy with this tiny spear.
And he can throw the spear.
On your shins. Oh, and knee pads as well. What are those for?
It's so I'm covered. In case he gets too close, I can give him the boot with some protection.
You know, I always thought there must be some reason this man never became a rocket scientist. Right? Indeed. Anyways, let's start that next wonderful segment with this bloke. It's called Amelia. That's the... they should have called it the mean guy, the mean doll.
The mean doll.
The mean doll. They should have called it the mean doll, but it's actually called Amelia, and it's about to begin right now. So don't you dare go away, because this is a part you've been waiting for all night. Bye. And that ends Amelia and Trilogy of Terror. I'm not even going to ask because I know this is one of your most favorite films. Yeah, she's always cheering for the silly doll. You know, your Spike is much more dangerous, and I think Andrew is a bit lucky that this was the danger tonight, not you. Anyways, fun film. We hope you enjoyed it. It's, you know, I would watch it again, wouldn't you? Right?
Yeah, as long as I got my protection.
Right. Well, you didn't need them tonight. All right. Well, that about wraps up for us. What's next for Andrew?
I'm just gonna go fix the toilets.
Fix the toilets. You know, I think you're actually going to go call Tracy the plumber instead. He doesn't like fixing toilets. He makes this poor woman do it, and I have to pay her handsomely.
She's a plumber after all.
Well, he's supposed to be a plumber as well. Why don't you fix the toilets? Now, she has advanced knowledge of plumbing, wiring, and just about everything else in this household.
Blowing them up.
She built her own computer. After she stole someone else's. Right. Anyways, this is my life. You do not want to live my life. Anyways, that about wraps up tonight. Thank you, everyone, for attending this film. And as far as you guys are concerned, thank you so much for staying up and watching our show instead of bloody Starsky and Hutch. Now, it's a good show, but that was not a good episode. So you made the right choice by watching Trilogy of Terror with us. We hope to see you next week. And don't forget, we love you. See you next time. So, Livingston, you know, I'm thinking if we show this film in 2 more years, like we did last time, we could have a Trilogy of Terror.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.